The time to talk about that, but gentlemen, we have to move to our final conversation tonight, which is the chairman of the Nigeria Diaspora Commission, NIMCOM, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has revealed that about 7,000 Nigerian immigrants are stranded in Libya. She made the disclosure at the official launch of the International Organization for Migration, IOM, Strategic Plan for Nigeria 2025 to 2027 in Abuja. While noting that efforts are in place to rescue stranded Nigerians, she called on the federal government and other key players to support the full implementation of the strategic plan. Of course, Dr. Adeni, I'd like to begin this one with you. At the very base of this is hunger. Nigerians are seeking for greener pasture elsewhere. That in itself is not a crime, is it?
That's not a crime. And I like your research, understanding the remote cause of the migration. So if you understand the remote cause, you'll be able to even provide a solution. The crisis is as a result of hardship from the people, and if the people are feeling hardship and they feel that there is a greener pasture somewhere. So even just with the news, somebody saying, let's go, willingly, the people will want to follow suit and want to try their luck and be like, if you don't die, don't worry, you're going to get a greener pasture. But my solution and my take is that what we should do as a country, creating human resources for exports to have foreign remittances is not a crime. India has almost similar situation that we are years back, and they were growing skill sets. So as a people, if we have a deliberate plan to grow skill sets, to grow plumbers, engineers, skilled and semi-skilled, even if you do not go to school, go to a technical school, and you still be employable, plumbers, painters, and we'll give them codified knowledge, technical certificates, they can become employable in Europe and in America structurally. If that is the kind of plan we have, and we should look at that so that we will solve this problem short term, medium term, and a long term. If we are just saying when people go, let's look for how to bring them back and now to come and train them after they might have strayed away is not good. So let's be proactive and nip it on the bud by creating the skill set that might be exportable, even for people that are not very, very, very educated.
Dr. Keme, let me bring this one to you again. 7,000 Nigerians, that's quite a lot of number. And so my question to you will be, how will this strategic plan of the IOM, launched by NIMCOM, help address this migration issue?
You see, coincidentally, last month I delivered a paper at the University of Porto around irregular migration of Nigerian youths, and where we discussed in entirety the issues related to why are Nigerians leaving the country, the young people. Now, when you see news about things related to NNPC and all of that, like my co-host, like my other guest said, crime against humanity. So people just feel there are no future for them. And you see, sometimes it's not just talk about the policy on how to ensure that the Nigerian youths do not leave the country in droves for the proverbial greener pasture and then they get stranded. The key word here for me is the irregular migration. You see, when people leave legally, the normal channel, it's fine because they have the means. But when people resort to irregular form of migration, that is where the problem is. And that is what the government needs to nip in the bud. We need to find out, why are people embarking on irregular migration? Because that is the problem. In fact, the issue of irregular migration has now become a global issue where people take dangerous routes, all in the means of survival. People take dangerous routes because they want to flee war, they want to flee poverty, they want to flee economic deprivation, they want to flee to a place where they feel they will have hope. So I think the policy direction should go towards addressing the irregular migration. What do we do to prevent people, to make the irregular routes, less attractive? What will the Nigerian government do? What can NIMCOM do? What can the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? What can we do to ensure? Because this issue of Nigerians stranded in Libya, it's not just enough to just send airplanes there have discussions with IOM, repatriate these people back. Some of them still find their way back, through this irregular route. So what do we do to ensure that this doesn't happen? We need to have a deliberate policy that will be advanced by NIMCOM and other relevant agencies to ensure that the youths have things, whatever they're going to look for abroad, they have it here. Because somebody who wants to go and study will go through the regular means, get admission, get visa. That is not the problem. People like that don't even get stranded. It's people who go through the illegal route, going through Nigeria, and they end up in Libya. They are deceived by these travel agencies, and they find themselves in Libya, find themselves in Morocco, and some of them will just be there 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and they are in prison, they are sold as slaves. So we need to find out. So the policy direction should be, how do we ensure that we nip the issue of irregular migration in the mud, because that is where the problem is.
Well,
so we have to
Dr.
ensure
Kemi,
that the youth are gainfully employed.
We all agree that fixing the economy and making sure it works for everyone would be a long-term solution to this. But I must thank you, gentlemen, Dr. Joe Keme, for joining me tonight, and right here in the studio, Dr. Adeni Ojikutu. Thank you both very much for being on Newsweek. And that's our show for today. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of both our resource persons are theirs